well, let's talk about drill music in Zion.
It's very problematic.
Let's talk about drill music in Zion. Lupe released his eighth studio album today, entitled "Drill Music in Zion." I liked it.
I liked it too.
What were your thoughts on the album? Because I know you listened to it earlier. Um, where do we start with this? I mean, because there's so many places we can go. Like we can go what album? When we're talking about the best albums of the year, where does it place in that?
Okay, let's start
standard?
right there. What did you hear when you heard?
Well, you know what? This is what I heard.
Okay.
I said a lot of technical things about, Logic last week.
You did.
And I think Logic hit a lot of marks on a technical level.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that listening to Lupe, it reminds me of, okay, well, this is how you do it and it not sound technical. It sound more natural.
Hold on. I thought I was getting excoriated for when I said these things last week.
No. I see where you were coming from. It's just hard to...
Fascinating. No, not by you, but by people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so when I hear Lupe, he just sounds like one of those MCs that's just incredibly comfortable and can do whatever he wants at whatever time. I think it was on the Last Dance. BJ Armstrong was talking about where Michael Jordan was at in, like, I want to say the 93 season. He was saying that he had gotten so good that, he not only could control everything that was going on in the game. He could control where everybody was. He had total control of not only his game, but everybody else's game. And it was like he was just seeing things from a different lens and could just manipulate
the game at his will.
Yeah, and I feel like with Lupe, he is really honed in on his lyrical powers to the point where he can do anything effortlessly. Very effortless lyricist.
Okay, so not all 4.0 GPAs are created equally. Some school requirements and academics are tougher than others. You get what I'm saying? And that's really what I was trying to express about what Logic did with his album, which is Album of the Year contender, which is a project that I enjoy, which is dope. But it doesn't have some of the soulful feelings and touchy nature that Lupe glides and glosses over effortlessly. It doesn't. And that's not disrespect to Logic. There's levels to this shit. And so when I told you that he could not have Album of the Year, I can give you an example why literally the following week. Thank you, Lupe. I can give you a prime example the following week about why it can't happen. Because just on Kiosk and Drill Music in Zion, Mike, got them in spades. Because it got a soul and a vibe and a feel to it that Logic just doesn't create when he makes music. And it's not a disrespect.
It's just...
Damn, you just can't be honest anymore, it seems like, without people being offended. People so goddamn emotional, and I don't mean the way that I'm emotional. I mean in a sucker-ass, punk-ass way.
They're saying that he wrote this album in one day. Is this the album that he wrote in one day?
3 days, supposedly.
What? See.
Also, to that point, to his side of things, well, Jesus. Let me say this. Well, if you write albums like this in 3 days, you don't need to take a long time anymore. This is the best thing that you've done in a while, in my opinion.
And why do you say that? Because we were talking about a few other efforts that, I thought were quality efforts, but...
Can we pull those efforts up? What efforts did you feel like were quality?
Hold on 1 second.
Because I'm going to ask you a question while you pull these things up.
Mm-hmm.
When did it become okay for all-time great lyricists to be subpar song makers? That's not the standard.
Because that's what we were talking about earlier, right?
But when did it become okay? Because I understand why everybody loves Lupe, but since everybody loves Lupe on this way, and apparently he is in a, greatest lyricist, of all time conversation, we're going to go pull up some of the other greatest lyricists of all time who he's comparable to and go pull up his songs versus their songs. And I'm going to show you where he stands. That's why I say they're called hip-hop records and hip-hop songs, not bar exhibitions. Not bar.
Well, I thought Draga's Wave had some really dope songs. And, Truist said Draga's Wave is a classic double disc.
Oh my God.
You felt like Draga's Wave was too long.
It's too long because it's him. So can I
Go ahead.
Can we go into my real dig about Lupe and his lyricism?
Mm-hmm.
The best lyricists do their best work in concise and brief moments like this one. I'm going to go to the two prime examples that get highlighted in hip-hop and in this show, which is Rakim and Nas. How many songs is Paid in Full, Mike?
What, about 9 off the top of my head?
It's 10 songs.
10.
Rakim's only rapping on 9 of them.
Right,
so
right,
you're
right.
correct. Can I interest you in Follow the Leader? Do you know how many songs Rakim is rapping on Follow the Leader?
It's about 8 or 9 on that one also.
He's only rapping on 8 songs on Follow the Leader. Mike, on Let the Rhythm Hit Him, how many songs is Rakim rapping on?
Well, that's a little bit more.
Not much, though.
It's
how
like
many
11
songs?
or so?
10.
10? Okay.
So, listen, in Rakim's first 3 albums, he's rapping over a total of 10, 18, 27 songs. Okay? Average of 9 songs. Because when you rhyme at the level that somebody Rakim rhymes at, lyrically wise and dense wise, if you want to make a classic album and really be heralded as a lyricist, you better keep that shit brief and short to keep people's attention. Lupe's biggest problem is that these damn albums are too long. It's almost like it's too much information.
This one isn't, though.
Huh?
This
one isn't, which is why it's the best thing that he's made since The Cool, in my opinion. It's not. I know that he's an all-time great lyricist. Do you know how to be lyrically great on a song consistently, structure-wise, from beginning to end, like other guys? Because there are other guys lyrically as good as you that did this. We're talking about Rakim right now, right?
Dumb It Down says his last 2 albums are classic. I wonder where Dumb It Down got his name from.
No, it's
we got
right,
a Lupe fan in the building.
Man.
Dumb It Down says also, but y'all say life after death is GOAT. Why y'all hating on Lupe?
I didn't say life after death was GOAT of anything. The best thing I've said about life after death is that it might be a top 5 hip hop album overall, all time. It still didn't make my top 5. It blows everything Lupe has ever made out the fucking water.
Well, see, life after death is very impactful, though. I think the thing with life after death is the fact that the game changed after it, and people were patterning their albums after life after death.
You're making my point. Do you know when lyricists are impactful? When they keep it brief. That's why I'm bringing up how Rakim's doing it. Isn't Rakim one of the 3 most impactful people in hip-hop history, according to you, Mike?
I think so.
Listen to how he did it, though. He didn't do it making 16, 17, 18, 19 songs album with all these amazing bar displays. He did it by showing people it's like, no, I'm the god. I'm super lyrical. I know how to put it in a format that you can understand, digest, gonna love, and enjoy, and call it super lyrical. Lupe doesn't do that enough to be considered the greatest lyricist of all time. Let's go to Liquid Swords right quick.
Hold on, let me get to these super chats. I'm going to let you get to Liquid Swords. Mad Max says, LOL, if bars don't matter over the song, you got to explain how you got KRS-One and these other guys over LL. And this Lupe album is great.
What are you talking about? We have like KRS at 8 and LL at 10, and the reason KRS is ahead of LL is because of catalog, not because of bars. So get that shit right.
And he also said this Lupe album is great. The Truest says, imagine comparing Counting to 21 by 7s to Wave Files. But yeah, go ahead. Liquid Swords.
Listen. This is what I'm talking about, how uninformed people are. Somebody's saying it was written as like 18, 19 songs, though. You stupid motherfucker. It was written as 14 songs with an intro. It's 13 records, and we're about to talk about it was written after we talk about Liquid Swords first. Liquid Swords, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
You know how many solo songs Jizza has on Liquid Swords? One of the best lyrical albums of all time?
Might be like 10, maybe.
No, not even.
Like 8?
If you count Living in the World today, where he does that brief back and forth with Meth, it's 7. If you don't count that, it's 6. You want to know why? Lyrically dense and heavy, hard to keep people's attention in for it to be a classic song. That's why Shadowboxing is important. That's why Fourth Chamber is important. That's why Investigative Reports is important. Because
I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I go straight to Shadowboxing and Fourth Chamber.
Because you're entertained.
Yeah.
Because it's not as lyrically dense, even though it's lyrically supreme. I understand. You need stuff like that, okay? Lupe don't have stuff like that. Now we're gonna go to Nas. Okay. How many songs is he rapping on Illmatic? I think we all know.
Well, yeah, that's 9 songs.
But
solo 8.
And I'm just going solo, so it's 8 solo songs on Illmatic, okay?
Right.
It was written. Listen to what I'm about to say. If you don't count the fact that Havoc is singing the hook with him on the setup, Foxy Brown is singing this hook with him on Watch the Niggas, and Dre does the intro to Nas Is Coming, he goes 12 songs dolo on It Was Written. When I realized that lyrically he did 12 songs worth of bar work like that on It Was Written, I said, this is lyrically the best album of all time, because nobody is 12 solo songs deep with bars like this on any album that's in this realm lyrically. Not 12 solo songs lyrically like this. It Was Written is lyrically the best album ever written. Lupe actually believes that. I heard him say that once. Take It in Blood is his shit.
Yeah.
Take It in Blood is Lupe's shit. That's my shit too. I told you, when I wake up every morning on my birthday, I play Take It in Blood.
Michael Sanders with the super chat says, Lupe the Cool is the top 5 most creative album in my opinion.
The Cool is his best album to me. We're going to talk about The Cool in a minute.
Dumb It Down says, you're dissing an artist for having one double diss. I'm
not dissing him. I'm saying
it's too much. He's saying that it's too much for
impact. I'm saying we should be having a conversation about him being the greatest lyricist of all time with Nas and Rakim, but he's not, and I'm just highlighting why. So I'm saying he's in the discussion, but he's not on that street yet, and I'm showing you why he's not on the street yet. This isn't disrespect. This is rhetoric. This is discourse. This is critique. There's a difference. If we're having a conversation where I have to pull out Rakim and Nas's catalog, how is that dissing the MC?
Right. Seems pretty great. Jay Short with the super chat says, I think it hurts Lupe in GOAT conversations that he doesn't have a signature sound. I think he needs a Hit Boy premiere. He's kind of all over the place musically.
That's what I'm trying to say. It's not concise. He's saying my thing for me. What he does isn't concise.
That's the entertaining factor, right?
Huh?
That's the entertaining factor, which is important. Because Snoop Dogg has entertainment in spades, and it helps him be one of the greatest.
I'll give you that. And so lastly, I'm going to go to Lost Tapes, because Lost Tapes is just straight 12 solo songs. Okay. So this is where I am going to give. And so we often talk about Rakim versus Nas, like lyrically, how you still say that it's Rakim. It's like, well, I can't say that when I see that Rakim doesn't have 12 songs like It Was Written or Lost Tapes, and Nas has done it twice. So even though it's splitting hairs, it's slightly more bar work on the solo tip, on a classic solo project. As in, Let the Rhythm Hit Him is 10 songs, Follow the Leader is 8. You know what I'm saying? Like, It Was Written as 12 songs of bar work by Nas on the solo tip. Like, so is Lost Tapes. Like, Rakim doesn't have that. But here's what I'm saying. We can't have this conversation about Lupe because Lupe's never really done this. The Cool is still his best album. Food and Liquor is a great project, but it's all over the place. The Cool was his most concise project up to this one. It's still his best piece of work, mostly because of brilliant records like Dumb It Down. I know Dumb It Down loves that. Dumb It Down lyrically, bar for bar, might be like Dumb It Down, the record, is I Gave You Power, Follow the Leader record. That is his Microphone Fiend record. I know what Dumb It Down is.
Dumb It Down is crazy.
It's just that he spent too much time doing Dumb It Down, not as well as Dumb It Down. You feel me? He hasn't done it as well since then. Dumb It Down is concise and brilliant and masterful and has a hook.
I think the production on The Cool and just the overall songs were probably his best collection of songs on an album. The theme, the way it flowed. And again, that album was pretty long too.
It is, but
Yeah.
you want to know what? And this is what I realized about it. It was his best beat selection on the Cool, and that's why it's his best album.
And I
When
think
your
he was a
players,
better rapper on that album than he was on Food and Liquor, personally.
oh yeah, I mean, I told you, Go Go Gadget Flow lyrically is better than everything on Food and Liquor. The first record, I'm like, he's up a level, high level, yeah. And so that happened. But what I'm saying is that as an all-time great lyricist, the two best all-time great lyricists, first of all, are better beat pickers than we give them credit for in Rakim and Nas, and you can hear that in Lupe's catalog, and they're also more concise. And so although he's in this discussion, he's not at the top of this list. He just belongs in the discussion. I actually think comparing him to Black Thought is a better discussion. He is not in Nas and Rakim's territory yet. His catalog doesn't say so. The conciseness doesn't say so. The songs don't say so. I pulled up some of Rakim's songs today, and I was like, nobody better not ever say that Lupe is the greatest lyricist of all time with some of these Rakim songs that I'm looking at. And you can't name me 5 Lupe songs that are remembered like this by people where lyrically he's going off like this. Like, Let the Rhythm Hit Him is not a fucking game, Mike. The song.
Not a game.
It's not a game, Mike.
And you know, it's always been said by people, or some would say that was a diss record towards Kane. I'm like, listen, man.
You don't want none of that.
I was like,
Lupe Lupe don't want no parts of Rakim on Let the Rhythm Hit Him. I don't give a fuck what you talking about.
and you know, if that is the truth, that was aimed at Kane, I understand not responding to that. He went crazy on Let the Rhythm Hit Him.
Ain't no response for that. He kept on rapping. I forgot there was a 4th verse. I was like, oh, he's not done with niggas yet. I was like, oh yeah. I was like, okay.
I think I'm gonna listen to that tonight.
You need to. I apologize.
But no, man. I mean, it's not us being old heads in that way. Again,
we're not old. I went back and listened today. I ain't listened to Let the Rhythm Hit Him in forever.
Like Rakim was before my time, and I went back and listened to Rakim, and it's mind-boggling that he rhymed at this level at that era. Like when you listen to stuff like Lyrics of Fury, nobody had ever rapped like that before.
He made Cool G rap work his style.
Yeah. So again, all time though, where do you think Lupe belongs on an all-time list? Because I think he's one of those guys for me that's very difficult to rate because there's a lot of people that he rhymes better than that I think have done, more musically. You know what I mean?
So that's what I'm saying. So listen to the category that he's in. I just got done bringing up Rakim's best albums and Nas's best albums and the Jizz's Masterpiece album. So he is lyrically a top 5-ish MC. When I was actually thinking, I was like, if we're being, and I'm saying this based on this project because this project is really, really dope and concise and enjoyable because it's concise and not over-filtered. I cannot put him ahead of Nas or Rakim lyrically on the lyricist chain. I still don't think he has not made an album that's even close to Liquid Swords either. The Black Thought conversation is fair. I would still put Thought ahead, so I'm cool with putting him at 5 all-time lyrically.
Lyrically, we're just talking about straight up lyricists. Mike 100 says Lupe's hooks. Mike 100 says Lupe's hooks are a bit weak. What's his best hook?
That's what I'm saying. Okay, so how about this? What hip-hop classic does he have that resonates in the hip-hop community the way... That's what I'm saying, like, when the GZA did labels, okay? Like, I know Lupe does stuff like that, but has he made a hip-hop classic song like that and delivered it from beginning to end on a record where we say that's a hip-hop classic?
Dumb It Down? You don't think that's a hip-hop classic? No?
What?
Dumb It Down?
Is it the way labels is? That's what I'm saying. How many people talk about labels? I mean, people know the words to labels from beginning to end. That's what I'm saying.
I think people might know Dumb It Down like they know labels.
Dumb It Down is more in that I Gave You Power Lyrics of Fury type of like hip hop classic. That's what I'm saying. Like GZA's got Liquid Swords too. He's got Killer Hills 10304. You feel what I'm saying?
Paris and Tokyo. Michael Sanders. What's that?
No, Paris and Tokyo's. Yeah.
I think that's one of his better hooks too. Michael Sanders with the super chat says, Lupe the Cool kept your attention. It was well put together. Coop, you're actually making great points. I agree with you. I'm actually a Lupe fan.
Yes.
We got to have church today with the Lupe fans because I know y'all been waiting for this moment, and we've been waiting for this moment to talk about this. And I think Lupe gave us a really good offering to talk about.
Right. People keep talking about this with Lupe. It's like, how about this? If you just want to talk about the lines, well, he might not be number one when it comes to lines. But that's literally one lane of lyricism.
I got some more super chats, and I see something that's going to be real interesting to talk about. LP says, "Rock him as we love him is all Eric B. The style, vibrato, even choice of production. Since splitting, Ra hasn't done anything to give us the '80s feel." Got another one. Nas the Goat says, "Sorry, Rakim ain't got nothing messing with murals." And Jay Short says, "Lupe needs the greatest hits to be appreciated fully." I agree with that.
All of
murals, murals.
No. Take your mural. Mural doesn't even exist if Rakim doesn't make Follow the Leader and Lyrics of Fury the song. So understand your history and know your place. Be quiet. That's next. Lyrics of Fury. Hold on. Lyrics of Fury, lyrically, time-wise, and timestamp is beyond what Mural is because Nas has done Rewind and I Gave You Power.
Yeah, you have to really factor in.
Know your history.
And again, I don't want to sound like, you know what I'm saying?
Watch the motherfucking tone.
I don't want to sound like, you know what I'm saying, that old closed-minded person, but we have to understand.
Get off my lawn. Get off my lawn with that shit. I do mine. Get off my lawn.
No, but we have to put in consideration that
talking about the Mural
a record like Lyrics of Fury came out in 1988. You got to look at what's before it, what's after it. And, you know, Murals, as dope as it is, and I think it's incredible, Lupe's had a lot to draw from in that moment. Murals is what, 2014, 15? There's been a lot of rapping.
Lyrical stuff has been made.
Yeah, there's been a lot of stuff to kind of go on and draw from. When you think about what came before 1988, there's nothing anywhere close to Lyrics of Fury. And so for that reason, I would have to say I would put Lyrics of Fury over Murals in that sense because you don't have anything to draw from. Or at least, if we're being fair, you got to put them at the same level. You can't just sit there and say something.
About as one of the greatest lyrical songs of all time. It came out in 1988.
It's crazy. Like I said, think about the shit that came out before it. But during that period, people were sitting there rapping like, huh. And I say that respectfully. I mean, the style was just different. But this dude came on some super lyrical shit before super lyrical shit even existed. We got to give him credit for that. We can't just sneeze at that. Nas the Goat says, "I don't care what nobody says. Lupe is number 2 behind Nas for me, and he is this generation's Nas." And Nas said that Lupe compares, Nas said that Lupe compares to him on Drink Champs. I can see that lyrically.
Yes,
Mad Max says Lupe is better than GZA.
Lyrically. But the songs have to be there. Okay, you can give him that over the GZA. What I'm trying to say is that he still doesn't have anything close to Liquid Swords as a project. Like, he doesn't have a project that you can sit next to these projects that these all-time great lyricists has. He does not have the songs. Listen to me. He does not have the songs that Rakim or Nas have hit or hip-hop song-wise that resonate with the culture of lyricism like that. Because here's what I mean. I'm about to show you how part of the greatness of the lyricism of Rakim is the inspiration behind it. And so I want you to show me who Lupe is inspired the way Rakim inspired Nas. Because here's what I knew. I knew that fans were going to do this, and that's why I'm going to go. Huh?
Can we say Kendrick?
No, because this... Let me go to the bar. This is what I mean about direct line of inspiration, about how great you are, that you inspire somebody else that's literally as great as if not greater than you. First of all, I noticed something. On Let the Rhythm Hit Him, Rakim is in love. He's talking about his wife Fifi on the first song. This is around the time that he met her. Mahogany's about her too. He actually mentions her by name. I was wondering how people knew who she was because he never talks about her. No, he talks about her on Let the Rhythm Hit Him. He's actually talking about her on Let the Rhythm Hit Him. When he's talking about the chick, he actually drops her name in there. Okay?
Right.
So let's just go to the format of that. And I'm bringing that up to bring up Mahogany because Mahogany is what Nas sampled for New York State of Mind. Everything's fine, but I'm in the New York state of mind. Okay? Now, on that song, Nas says a bar that I've said on here many a times. What does he say? My rhyming is a vitamin held without a capsule, right? That's on the same sample that he's taken from Mahogany. Listen to what Rakim's saying on Mahogany while he's wooing his Fifi. Each moment's a mineral, poetry's protein, verses of vitamins, effects like codeine. See, Rakim is so great lyrically that what he does inspires guys like Nas to go take it and format it into their own, literally on their debut album. Lupe don't have no effect like that.
Even with that line
does Lupe have a Nas running around?
Even with that line that Jay was talking about, that what was the line that Jay was talking about from
constant elevation causes expansion. I write my rhymes while I cool in my mansion.
Yeah.
Right.
He inspires lyrically.
He inspires lyrically.
Greatest lyricist I've ever heard. Nas the GOAT says, shaking my head, Coop. That was terrible. I know my history, sir. Yes, Nas the GOAT be on the show all the time. I know Nas the GOAT.
Yeah, you don't know your history about this. You don't know your Rakim history. Just because you're on the show don't mean you know your Rakim history. Did you know those bars I just spit from Mahogany?
Probably so. I mean, we all hip-hop fans here. But I will say,
no, we all hip-hop fans here, but some of us are different. No,
I think it could be generational too. Let me say this. Do you not think that it's possible that because Lupe didn't come around during our primitive years with, his prime material, that we may view him differently than someone who he did come out with his prime stuff in their primitive years?
Maybe, but you want to know, I also felt really, really tricked by Kick Push. Kick Push is one of my favorite hip-hop records ever, okay? Mm-hmm. It's actually the one record, that if it comes on, even though he's made better records, that's the record I'm most likely to play because it has a very, very hip-hop oriented and nostalgic feel.
I love that record.
I love that record. And he's not overly lyrical on there, okay?
It's just a really good song.
It's just a really good song. And sometimes when I look back at his career, I'm like, well, his influence and his place in his space would be much heavier had he made more records like that. I tell people this, it ain't hard to tell is lyrical, but it's not I gave you power or take it in blood. It's inviting lyrical. It ain't hard to tell. I excel and prevail. The mic is contacted. I attract clientele. My mic check is life or death, breathing a sniper's breath. I exhale the yellow smoke of Buddha through righteous steps. Deep like the shining, sparkle like a diamond. It's not complicated. It's lyrical. It don't have to be all that stuff that people be making it into for it to be an all-time great hip-hop record. What he is missing is more kick pushes and too many dumb it downs, not done as well as dumb it down. That's what I'm saying.
Michael Sanders says, Lupe lacks influence. Dumb It Down says, Jizza is great, but it's one project where... where's the he don't go to work talk you give other artists? Why can't you give Lou his props without mixing in the negative?
I just said I was cool with putting Lupe over Jizza, so when he's saying that, is he watching the show? I'm just saying, I just said I was cool with putting Lupe over Jizza based on that. I just said he doesn't have anything fucking with Liquid Swords. Both of those things can be true. Lupe can be above Jizza, and he still ain't got shit close to Liquid Swords.
Dumb It Down says Lupe is blackballed, not allowed to have impact.
Oh, that's bullshit. That's self-inflicted wounds. That's why I love when Nas was making that comment on Drink Champs. You can't blackball me. Pretty much I'm Nas. So it's if you're that, there is no blackballing you. You get what I'm saying?
The fans have kept Nas alive, and like we've said in previous shows, it's clear that these publications didn't want Nas to be here.
Right.
You look at how they write these articles.
But he's Nas, and I'm not talking about the person. I'm talking about that dude on the mic. You can't blackball somebody like that. They're too great to blackball.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't want to hear that blackball by Lupe. Lupe can't be getting blackballed and be as great as people say. All right?
I think Lupe is an incredible lyricist. Do you think that he is in the running for Lyricist of the Year based on this piece of work?
Yes. People like Sharif Abdul-Rahim can get blackballed because although they're good enough, they're not Magic Johnson or Isaiah Thomas. You feel what I'm saying?
Well, I think the industry has tried when it comes to Nas, but I think that he touched his impact with Illmatic alone made it
Too heavy.
where he's not going anywhere.
Too heavy.
When you make impact, you're not going anywhere.
You know where you make impact though, right? As a rap artist and as a music maker, right? You know why the Beatles are popular, right? Why the Rolling Stones are popular? Jay, Nas, Big. Their songs.
Yeah, it starts with the songs. Quincy Jones said that.
Stop acting like you can skip over this process of being like this guy that can just spit all the time without the songs to go with it. Does he have it? Where's The World Is Yours? Where's It Ain't Hard to Tell?
Yeah,
Where's Eric B as president? Where's Paid in Full? Show them to me. Show them to me and I'll put them above those guys. Because those guys got records like that. They're just immediate hip-hop buy-ins. Immediate. Made You Look. He don't even have a Made You Look. Does he just have a rap record like Made You Look? It's like just on some rap shit. You like, Nas isn't even super lyrical on there. Now let's get it all in perspective for all y'all enjoyment, a song y'all can step with. That's not super lyrical. Y'all appointed me to bring rap justice, but I ain't 5-0. Y'all know it's Nas, yo.
Great Goose with a whole lyrical? Lot of hydro.
Is that shattering the mold of lyricism, Mike?
It's about making a great song, man.
Is that your favorite Nas single?
Yeah, I think it might be.
It's probably his least lyrical single, Mike.
Yeah, man. Sometimes it ain't always about that lyrical miracle.
The hardest bar on there, don't say the car is topless, say the titties is out. That's the most lyrical bar on there.
Dumb It Down says Lupe's Tutsin Youth would never have come out, and he wouldn't be off the label without anonymous threats. If anonymous backs you, if anonymous backs you, is that not impact? Listen, Lupe has impact, but again, I think Coop's talking about the songs. I think what you're talking about, Dumb It Down, and correct me if I'm wrong, you might have been talking about when Lupe was kind of, speaking his piece on, President Obama, when he was saying something about he felt that Obama was a terrorist, he would be on Fox News and things like that. I think those are some things that you might be speaking about as far as like him being blackballed and, not being invited to certain things and performances being canceled. But it's not because of like, he made Cop Killer or something like Ice-T did. It's not about the music, it's more so about the actions, if that makes any sense.
Nobody sent Lupe no letter from the federal government or from the White House like, can you please stop talking about murdering us in songs and F us like they did NWA. Stop making it seem like he's some sort of menace to society who's been ostracized and like no, he hasn't been any of that. He's been actually quiet and low key for the most part, and there's nothing wrong with that. But as far as like this all-time great lyricist talk, I'm just trying to give you some perspective. I'm just giving you some paid in full, follow the leader, let the rhythm hit him, Illmatic. It was written, lost tapes to go off of, because on days like this, where he releases a great project, people are going to jump and be like, oh, he's this. And it's like, no. He's in the conversation.
And Nas the GOAT and Dumb It Down have been waiting for this day. I love it. Nas the GOAT with the super chat says, Coop, I love Rakim, but you can't comparing everything to these old rappers. Leave these old guys in the past. LOL.
No, we're comparing him to the all-time great lyricists. No,
there are other guys. Oh, let me finish. There are other artists better. Shaking my head. And Dumb It Down
First of all,
says,
there aren't other artists better than Rakim. Who's out here saying that? We need to cut his water off, Mike, if you think that there are artists walking around better than Rakim.
Dumb It Down says, nope, Anonymous, the Hackers, for his 5th album. Oh yeah, Anonymous, I know what you're talking about.
Okay, so with this I say, we're bringing up people that lyrically he's comparable to, because there's not a lot of people to compare him to.
Yeah, that's a compliment in itself.
That's a compliment. How about this? Like, I never felt like Kendrick was in Lupe's conversation lyrically. That's why I'm not talking about Kendrick. Lupe has always been better lyrically than Kendrick. I didn't even think that was up for discussion. And so you want me to talk about Lupe versus J. Cole to keep it more current than you? Because by going to Rakim and to Nas, I'm actually giving Lupe props. That's what I'm saying. Some of you younger dudes, when y'all like stop with the old head talk, you have to understand, if I'm having to talk about Lupe as a lyricist and I'm feeling the need to reference Nas and Rakim's greatest work, that's the highest fucking praise I can give anybody coming out from
Right.
modern times. You
Right.
should be happy that I'm doing that. That means I'm holding him up high, actually. The only person that I've even had a talk like this about is Kendrick. Haven't even had this conversation about Cole. So he's being held up properly. You need to get your shit together and listen to the totality of hip-hop, not just the era you were brought up in. Because Rakim and Cool G Rap and KRS-One and Big Daddy Kane or Slick Rick, they're not my era. I'm super versed on them. Super well versed. They are not my era. I'm super well versed on them. And I don't pop up and say, when the older heads compare Nas and Big and Jay to them, I don't sit up there and say, oh, well, you're just old and stop giving me these old guys. No, I went and listened to their music and I went and understood this shit because it goes by era, but it also goes by weight class.
Yeah.
Lupe's in a weight class where bringing up Nas and Rakim is totally fair and open based on what your generation says. People need to get their shit together when they talking this rap shit if you really want to do it. And you need to know Rakim if you want to talk about Lupe this way. As a lyricist, you do. Don't feed me that shit. If you talk about Lupe being arguably the greatest lyricist of all time, you better be able to pull some Rakim bars out. Because I got niggas older than me that's going to have a problem with that.
The Truest says, name a Nas triple entendre. I'll wait. I mean, I think the triple entendre, it's not to quote Skip Bayless, man, but it's kind of like the triple double, man. It's a very overrated stat. We can live without it, really. I mean, it's creative and it's cool, but it doesn't make you the greatest rapper ever. We got a super chat over here that says, y'all always talk about Liquid Swords, but how did you like Beneath the Surface?
I thought Beneath the Surface is underrated. The production's not as good. That's where you can tell that like RZA not being involved kind of hurt Jizza. But Amplified Sample, the actual record Beneath the Surface.
Nas the Goat says, Coop, I'm 40, LOL. I'm not young. Okay.
Oh, well, then stop talking like it. Yeah. You know what I mean? For real. Like, I mean, I'm going to come up here and keep it funky with people. If you're not young, don't talk like it. Like, act like you know Rakim and who he is then. Like, for real. Like this be a respect thing. People be like, Coop, you be disrespectful to some people. It's like, but then y'all come on here talking about Lupe better than Rakim. Like, no, who really disrespectful? Who really don't know they shit? Yeah.
Now, I think that the Lyrics of Fury thing kind of got me because it's like, there were no songs like Lyrics of Fury before Lyrics of Fury. And you got to understand that this is 88. You got to give it that proper acknowledgement at that point. It's like, man, it's like somebody sitting there averaging 55 points a season with no three-point line. We can't just act like, that didn't happen.
I thought about something, a quote I just saw from Kareem. He's like, I got over 38,000 points. I only took one three-point shot. I was like, oh.
He only made one three-point shot.
Made.
Yeah.
I was like, thought about that. I was like, damn. And you think about it, he was never like an 80% free throw shooter either. He's like more like a 70, 75% free throw shooter. So I was thinking like, damn, it's like if this dude could have shot the three and been like an 80% free throw shooter, he had like 45,000 points or some shit.
Yo, I think it's really crazy when you think about Pistol Pete because he was shooting shots that would have been threes and making them. And he was averaging like 44 a game in college.
Yeah, he would have averaged like 60 points.
Yeah, imagine what he would have done with a three-point line. Because at least Kareem, we know he was in the post, whatever. But somebody like Pistol Pete who didn't have a three-point line but was legit shooting threes anyway and still averaged, what did he average at LSU, man? That shit was like 40-something over a game over like a 3-year period. Shit was crazy. The Truest says, but I ran like a cheetah. Is lyrical?
You see this?
Short says, y'all know Jay, Bluebird Entendre was an accident. Y'all
Right.
stop. Leave Jay out of this.
Right. So the Truest keeps going to this whole ran like a cheetah thing. Like, and I'm saying this respectfully, fam, and you should see this from when me and Mike debate. You got to start using different points to prove your point, or your point starts ringing hollow. You keep repeating the same points. That's why it's starting to ring hollow. You don't have a lot of points to go off of. Like, that, well, hold on. You know, we've been talking about the Jizza today. Let's go to that Wu-Tang. Diversify your bonds, nigga. That's what I'm saying. Like, diversify your bonds. Like, stop saying the same thing about the whole ran like a cheetah thing. Like, we get what you're saying, but like, you've made your point, and now find some better material. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Me and Mike do material every week, 2 days a week minimum, new, fresh.
Well, this Lupe conversation was great. What do you rate this album?
It's really hard to rate off top. Can I ask you something? What did you think about the poem at the beginning? Because that's what really started my Nas thought.
I liked it.
Was lyrically, because I thought to myself, when Nas made Nostradamus, I'm sorry, I'm taking some spam out the chat. When Nas made Nostradamus, remember when he did that poem to start Nostradamus?
Yep.
Man, he got clowned for that. Niggas like, this nigga done lost all his street cred. But now in 2022, a great lyricist starts off their album with a poem, Don't We Love It? You see how unoriginal it is, though?
You know, when I think of poems at the beginning of albums...
I'm just giving people context, because people be treating this shit like Lupe do so new and so fresh. No, Nostradamus starts off with a poem just like this.
I think spoken word, for me, in hip-hop, kind of really got, I guess, popularized or fit in when Big Rube was kind of doing what he was doing with Cass and, you know, with the whole Dungeon family, because he was on some Goody Mob stuff too. But yeah, so yeah, when I hear spoken word and hip hop records, I kind of, you know, go back to that. I forgot all about the Nostradamus thing. But again, it's all about what you do after it too. And I think that New York's different, to be honest. I mean, we were talking about that earlier in our conversation. I think New York hip-hop doesn't really have much of a license to be this artsy-fartsy type of thing, especially in that era. You gotta come with the beats and rhymes.
Hold on. I know Lupe starts off this projects like this, guys. I'm just trying to say that it's not as original as you think. There's somebody that might have been doing it, that he might have pulled it. You get what I'm saying? You see how cats be? It's like, no, I'm talking about in 2022 how it's cool because this album is great. I'm not talking about it in relationship to the other albums. We're talking about how it sounds in 2022 on this album. You see how people be trying to win for him so bad, though? It's like, well, he starts all the other albums off like this. We ain't talking about that other albums. We're talking about the album that he just released today. I'm just trying to give it some relationship.
LP with the super chat says, in Greece, 20 pointers on the chain. I freak it. Triple from Nas. Pop Cristal like it's my first child. Double from Nas. Truist needs to chill. LOL.
Truist is wild.
Yeah, Truist is trolling. Truist got another one. He says, shout out to shootouts with mega cops is lyrical.
Oh, no, it's not. But that kind of goes to that whole thing where they thought the cops was acting like RoboCop and like Mega Man, almost like a machine. So when he's saying mega cops, he's almost saying like Mega Man, the video game, the RoboCop. Yeah.
Okay. So, Nas the Goat says, shaking my head, Coop. Just because I don't agree with you doesn't mean I'm talking young and I don't know hip hop. I just don't agree. It's my opinion, sir. And
we welcome everyone's opinion. You're not giving me no evidence that you know Rakim shit either, which makes me concerned because you've been one of our most frequent contributors and supporters, and you call yourself Nas the Goat. I need you to know your Rakim shit. So don't take it personally. If you feel disrespected, I'm sorry. You know?
We don't want to disrespect anybody, man. We just trying to have these hip-hop discussions. Me and Coop even go back and forth when we disagree. You see it?
We been doing that shit all the time.
You want to move on to this versus conversation?
Unfortunately.
Mike 100 says, Coop, Common used the same chick to spit a poem on one of his albums as Nostradamus. Which, okay, I need to go back and check that. Was that, which album?
Hold on. Common album.
Yeah, yeah. Swain says, Truist keeps taking one line from a whole phrase. Yeah.
Yeah.
Finish the phrase. Make it make sense. Mad Max with the super chat says, man, Truist, Nas said freedom of jail clips inserted. The baby being born same time a man is murdered at the beginning and end. That's Shakespearean.
Look, as far as rap go, it's only natural I explain my plateau and also
what defines my name.
My name. See, that's what I'm saying when the Truest need to come up on here with better stuff. You feel me? Because it's like when he speaks to bars like that. Now give me your rebuttal. Good one, Mad Max.
What I was gonna say too, somebody said in the chat, Twista's Adrenaline Rush celebrating 25 years today, and shout out to Twista. We might be able to talk to Twista. I don't want to, say too much, but yeah, might be some things coming down the pipeline or whatever. But yeah, Adrenaline Rush 25, love that album.
Fuck with Twista, yeah.
Yeah, that was a game changer for me. I had that tape. And I was a huge Bone fan at the time. Bone had dropped Art of War. And I'm listening to Twista because, Do or Die had Poe Pimpin' out. I'm like, oh, man, this dude's giving it to him. It was just that whole battle back then of who could rap the fastest. But Twista was able to do something different and made, like, some real mellow. He was different than Bone. Like, he was rhyming fast, but he had some real dope songs that were, like Get It Wet. There was nothing that was sounding like that.
Kamikaze by Twister. When did that? Hold on.
Kamikaze was 2004, I believe, or 5. The Truest says, Nacho Cheese, I'm Castro. It's lyrical. Man, he going in. You going to find all the Nas lines. Let's talk about this versus thing, because I know we don't have a whole lot of time today. Go ahead.
Nacho Cheese, I'm Castro.
Well,
this was written shit, right?
I don't know off the top.
No. Hold on.
I agree. Heavily censored.
Go ahead.
Twista's verse on Poe Pimpin' is one of the best features ever.
Yeah.
Man with the super chat says Truest is the Nick Waite of according to hip hop. Versus is coming with
that's Nas is coming. Nacho Cheese, I'm Castro.
Okay.
But compared to these niggas that swear to being real, the imposter, the Hoffa, Nas played kills. You see how he doesn't finish shit? You see how Truist doesn't finish shit? That's why I was like, Nacho Cheese. No, see, he's making gangster affiliations and references to tie it together. He's going from Mexican drug cartel to Cuban drug cartel to American drug cartel with the contextualization in his bars. The Truest don't know his shit. He keep on trying to be funny.
Can't slip one past Coop.
Ain't no slipping nothing past me. That's what I'm saying. When they said the Nacho Cheese, I'm like, hold on. I'm like, I remember how those bars go. Where I need to pull that from? Yeah, you full of shit, Truist.
So you said we can't rate the Lupe album right now. You want to wait till Thursday to give it a real rating? To give it a even more of a listen? Because off top, I'm thinking 2.5. I'm sorry, 4.2-ish. I'm sorry.
Oh, whoa, okay. Whew.
No.
Okay, so I was thinking 4.25 to 4.5.
Yeah, that's where I was going.
But I don't know. How about this? I was actually feeling more 4.5-ish. And let me see how the content holds, because he's so dense after a couple days, and see if I don't slide it down to a 4.25. Because here's what I mean about dense.
Mm-hmm.
You understand the first song? What's the first song called again? Pull this shit up.
Jay Short says Lupe's talent demands that we hold him to a high standard.
Yes, that's what we're doing right now. That's why I'm bringing up Nas and Rakim. Hello.
No, he agrees. Jay Short agrees with what we're saying.
Right. You're supposed to hold them to a high standard. They be saying we be shitting on dudes. But then we hold them to the highest standard. It's like, oh, why you being so hard on him, Coop? It's like, no, I thought you said he was that nigga, though.
That's what I thought, Mike 100. Mike 100 was saying that's Common's Beautiful Revolution intro, Jessica Carmore. Because, I thought her voice sounded...
Or the poet,
Yeah, I thought her voice sounded familiar when we were listening to Beautiful Revolution. And I know when Beautiful Revolution came out, we spoke about it briefly. And, we didn't have a whole lot of great things to say about it. But it wasn't bad. It was just kind of boring.
It was boring. That was the problem with it. It's not like the music was bad. It was just boring. It's like, okay. Yeah. It's like, I feel like, making some scrambled eggs for the family, and then we're going to go play in the yard and play badminton for a while. Like, no, fuck all that. This is rap.
And not to mention, for me personally, not to cut you off, when Common says certain things, and, it was different, like in the 90s when he would say things and he didn't have the influence and possible political power and influence that he has today. Now he says those same things, and me, I'm like, it sounds good, bro. Well, what you know what I'm saying? Like you out there, you know these people, make the change. That so I listen to an album like that with a different ear now. Now, if he made this back in the day when we don't see him next to presidents, multiple senators, and in these rooms, in these meetings with all of these people, that's different. But now you're making that stuff, and we've seen you connected with all of these people. These people shout you out. I kind of don't want to hear it anymore.
I kind of don't respect it anymore.
That's it.
Just it. No, we just need to call a spade like we do with everything else.
Yeah,
it's like our problem with Common is that we've looked up to him. He's been a great MC. He's been a great humanitarian.
Right.
And it just appears like he's not in touch the way that he used to be. It comes off as fraudulent and fake as phony. And we don't like it. And it's hard for us to connect with him now because of it. So even if the music is good, we kind of look at him like, oh, but like you kind of walk in there and shook hands and kissed babies and played yourself, and we was fucking with you. You didn't have to do that. We're not even sure if you know what you're doing. Like you start going down a rabbit hole with him, and you're like, oh man, I just want to listen to Being Like Water for Chocolate and forget.
And I'm gonna keep it a buck, and people can feel however they want to feel about this. I personally have a problem with the fact that not only did he not support Kanye's presidential run,
I got a problem with that.
You went out there and you openly campaigned for President Joe Biden over a guy that you know personally. You knew his mom, all of that. This man was integral in getting you to where you are, to the point where this party wants to use you to get support. I'm just not good with that. Now, I'm not saying that he had to go out there and vote for West. I'm just saying I don't like the fact that he went out there and openly campaigned against him. I don't like that.
First of all, Rusty now asked me to explain Uchiwali. There is no explanation for Uchiwali. All right? I would like to apologize on the entire hip-hop community for Uchiwali outside of the beat. But here's what I will say. You know how bad Common is? I actually think Common deserves to be in this conversation, even ahead of Lupe, because Common's an all-time... How about this? Everything that I said about Nas and Rakim and why I hold them high lyrically, in terms of their ability song-wise and album-wise to do it, well, Common checks those boxes more than Lupe and Black Thought.
Because he got the song. He has the songs.
Oh, man, he has the songs. He has the albums, too.
Yeah.
Hold on. Like, let's not get this twisted. Like, The Cool's not better than Like Water for Chocolate or B.
Yeah.
So he's got the albums over Lupe, too. And I know, like, lyrically, Lupe's better. But Lupe's not top to bottom the MC the Common is. And I don't even be wanting to talk about him because of how much of a sucker I feel like he is right now. You feel me?
And, I don't want to shit on Common like that. I mean, I think that...
about all this shit.
I think that these things could be rectified, but my thing is... and I would like to see some...
He don't have nothing like The Corner. Lupe has nothing like The Corner.
No, I'm saying, like, as far as, like, Common and his approach, I think things could be rectified. I just would like to see some action into the words. And now, at this point, in this juncture, and we've seen who you've been grouped with, and I hear stuff like Beautiful Revolution, and you talking about dreaming of this and that, and it's like, I don't want to hear it. I don't. Because I don't even know if you really mean it, because you're not doing anything about it. Because you're sitting here with people who could actually do something about some of the things you say you got a problem with. So it's like, do you really mean what you're saying, or do you think that is that just your angle when it comes to making music? I don't know.
Do you know what you're saying? Do you know what you're saying anymore?
I don't know.
You know what your message is. Who's feeding your message?
Right.
What is the message?
Mad Max says, Nas on every ghetto off Stillmatic. There's no heaven or hell. Death is death, F words, and y'all soul is with God. Your mind keep lurking the earth, watching your own murder reoccur. Man, listen, man, the fact that we're sitting here defending Nas against one person, y'all know that the truest is trolling. We got another one that says the roots unlocking is a classic spoken word.
People have to understand this as a lyricist, okay? We're talking about hip hop, okay? Okay, how about this? People need to start looking at hip hop like an organized league, like the NBA or like the NFL or like Major League Baseball, okay? And so what Lupe has decided to do is to play organized league professional athletics in a sense with rapping, okay? When you're in the league, this organization, you know how like teams, when you're in baseball, you play to do what? Go to the World Series and win the pennant and win the championship. In the NFL, it's the Super Bowl. In the NBA, it's the NBA Finals. In rap, Mike, your album and the years that you release your albums, that's your playoff format. That's your finals. That's how you get remembered. Nobody remembers like just the rhymes. That you're like, hey man, you remember this nigga spit this rhyme in 2003, and it was the illest rhyme ever. No, that's not how it goes when you're in an organized league, because this organized league takes songs and takes albums, and that's how you get rated in the class. You have to have the talent to be in this league. So he has obviously the talent to be in this organized league. As a prospect of a lyricist, Mike, he's a lottery pick. Is in terms of lyricists all time, this is a top 10 lottery pick. Mm-hmm. I was watching Skip and Shannon today. Skip and Shannon was going down the number one draft picks that had made it, and the number ones that were bust, and the number twos that were bust, and the number twos that had made it. Just because you're a lottery pick doesn't mean that you make it. He brought up the fact that, well, there's Kevin Durant at number 2. That's the best number 2 pick of all time. But there's Michael Olowokandi from the LA Clippers at number 2. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
There's Jay Williams. I'm a Duke fan. There's Jay Williams from the Chicago Bulls at number 2. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. A lot of that's circumstantial, but I guess that could be in every profession.
But right. And so, but sometimes you get LeBron James or Tim Duncan or Allen Iverson, like right there at number 1. You know what I'm saying? And at number 2, you get you a Kevin Durant. You know what I'm saying? Or who's another great number 2 pick? I guess we could go off. Akeem's number 1. What's another great number 2 pick, Mike? They were running down some today. Alonzo Mourning. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Somebody like that. And all I'm saying is that Lupe belongs in that category. And he's a lottery pick. But when you start parsing it out, you know what I'm saying? Start parsing it out. It's like, oh, well, Lupe might be like somebody that you pick number 4, lyrically. Common may be somebody you pick number 10, lyrically. But how do their careers go, Mike, with those songs and those albums? Just because Lupe's drafted at number 4 lyrically all time, and Common is somewhere number 10 lyrically all time, doesn't mean that career-wise, Lupe's number 4 and Common's number 10. That's not how it goes. You get what I'm saying?
No, I got you.
So today, if we're saying that Lupe, let's take him all the way up. I think we've given fair evidence to the fact that he's not Rakim or Nas. So let's put him at number 3. Let's say he's a number 3 draft pick. And let's say Common's a number 9 draft pick. What I'm saying is Common's number 9 draft pick career looks better than Lupe's number 3 draft pick career. Who gives a fuck if that nigga got drafted number 3 when the player that got drafted number 9 has got better stats, more rings, more all-star appearances, more all-NBA teams? You feel what I'm saying? Why we keep talking about fucking talent in here like it matters when it literally matters more nowhere else? It matters about how you produce everywhere else. I'm so sick of this shit. Common has produced more than Lupe.
All right. Well, on that note, let's move on because I know we'll have a whole lot of time. Let's talk about verses. After last night's verses, everybody was, let's just keep it a buck. Last night's verses didn't seem like anybody was taking it serious. It appeared to be a joke. And so my question before this one even aired was, is verses actually over? And what could actually save verses? Because I think that I want to say that the Memphis Bleak and Joel Santana is going to be the next verses. I think that's July 20th or something, the date I saw. And we posted it on Instagram. And Memphis Bleak got into the comment section. So he didn't deny that it was actually set. So I guess it is confirmed.
Hold on.
But
Ooh, you want to know what I just thought about?
what's
I
up?
know how to kill all this talk. This is what I mean about Lupe lyrically.
Oh my God.
No, we're not done. Hold on. Listen to what I'm about to say. Not you and me, Mike. If somebody arbitrarily were to walk up to you and be like, "We got a versus coming, Common Lupe, who you taking?"
I'm taking Common.
It's not even a conversation. You see how quick you were with it?
Yeah.
Because Lupe don't got the songs to fuck with Common, even though he's a better lyricist. But Common's an all-time great lyricist that deserves to be mentioned in that conversation. So how can you say that Lupe is this great when there are other lyricists that are comparable to him that have better songs and better albums? How great is he as a lyricist? Because these other lyricists know how to put it in a song and album format. Okay. That's all I'm saying. So, like, rate him properly. It's like, stop doing this whole bar shit. We're not on the fucking corner. This is organized ball. This ain't fucking Rucker Park.
Nas the GOAT says, can we please move on? Coop is killing me, LOL.
I bet I am. You want to know a Lupe, the illest nigga in Nebraska, but that's about it. This nigga local with that.
Man, Lupe is one of the great lyricists. But I feel what you're saying.
He is. But as far as the great lyricist, he's the worst song maker.
What verses do you think could happen or would need to happen to get people interested in verses again? Or do you think it's just over?
I want to do a Common Lupe versus right now so I can embarrass all these niggas thinking that Lupe is better than Common. But
you think that would move the needle?
For Chi-Town, it would. Common versus Kanye is what would move the needle more, because Lupe don't move the needle or have influence like that. Like, think about the influence even in his own city. He's not even the most influential lyricist in his city, Mike. He's not even in second place in terms of influential lyricism in his city.
Well, I mean,
think about that. Kanye and Common have inspired more rhymes. Twisters inspired more rhyme styles than Lupe has. You understand what y'all saying? Like, all these other things matter. Rakim is what East Coast top-notch lyricists sound like.
Well,
how many niggas outside of Chicago sound like Lupe?
Well, I don't think Lupe's local with it. I think a lot of Lupe's fan base and even the people who are in here, they're not from Chicago.
I'm not shitting on him. I'm just saying y'all need to start putting this shit in context, because this is the best project that he's made in a long-ass time, and it's still not, like...
Truist says, you exposed yourself by thinking Kick Bush is his best. DJ Bruce Almighty says, Mario's stock went up last night. Yes, Mario actually handled this as a professional and honestly showed that he was the best, singer up there. Probably I won't say the best overall talent, because I think that Omarion's a great dancer, but I think that
no, Mike, we can't get on this shit. People still doing this Lupe shit. I listen to Lupe.
Oh my God, y'all aren't gonna end this.
Lupe's had 2 decades in the game right now, Mike, to make a seminal album comparable to the stuff that I named.
Like Jay Short said, Lupe needs the greatest hits, so that
What hits, Mike? All the stuff that you named isn't high-level classic stuff. Like, I love Paris, Tokyo. You think that's the corner, or it ain't hard to tell, or let the rhythm hit him? Because that's the category that he's in as a lyricism. So since he's in that category, that's what I'm saying. When you get to a certain category, it starts becoming about what your songs and what your albums sound like compared to those guys. And compared to those guys, that's all I'm saying. You got the cool. You got Go Go Gadget Flow, Dumb It Down, Paris, Tokyo, Hip Hop Saved My Life.